Are you ready to spin your scraps into something special? Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jackie. I love using scrap fabric to make quilt blocks and other items in a quilt-as-you-go fashion. Today we're kicking off row 3 in our Quirky Quilt Series with another favorite of mine, the Pinwheel Quilt Block. I'm going to show you how to make this one. If quick, simple, and fun quilting is your style, you're in the right place. Here are the materials you'll need for the Quirky Quilt Series. For each block, you'll need scrap fabric, 1 piece of batting or flannel that measures 10 inches by 10 inches, 1 piece of your backing fabric. I'm simply using a muslin that is 10 inches by 10 inches, 1 piece of Pellon P44F lightweight interfacing that measures 10 inches by 10 inches. This is optional. You could sew your block pieces directly onto the batting if you would like. I'm using the interfacing as my canvas so that I can lay out the pieces easily. Various pieces of 2-inch wide scrap fabric pieces. To join the quilt, they will be 10 inches by 2 inches, and we'll need some longer pieces for joining the rows. A rotary cutter with a pinking blade or pinking shears, or if you're cutting a raw edge piece for your block, you could use your straight scissors, and I do have some Elmer's washable school glue to baste my backing fabric to my batting. Pins or clips, invisible thread for the top thread, and black thread in your bobbin if you're doing the hand look stitch, which is number 27 on my Brother PS 500. You could also use a light gray thread for the top thread and black thread in the bottom. And I do have a free pattern for you so that you can follow along. The link to the pattern will be in the description box below. The Pinwheel Quilt Block dates back to the early 1800s, inspired by children's pinwheel toys. It's a timeless classic known for its playful design and easy construction, making it beloved by quilters of every generation. Before we get started, I want to let you know that I do have a pattern for you. It will be available in the description box below, and you'll be able to cut out all of the pieces you'll need for this pattern. The first thing we need to do is prepare our quilt sandwich. It has backing, batting, and interfacing. I have already prepared my batting and my backing. I basted the backing to the batting with dots of glue. So that's ready to go. But first, we need to attach the pinked edge fabric scraps to our interfacing. And I have my Pellon interfacing here with the glue side up. I did make a mark in the center so I know where that center is. And then you'll need to cut out your pieces. You're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe. Yes, 8 C's. So what I did is I took 4 dark C's of these fabrics, kind of primitive looking. And then I picked out 4 C's that were light, and these are all the same. And then for the border, normally a pinwheel block won't have a border, but in our case we need to add a border so that the points do not get hidden. And then I have this pretty checked fabric. This is for piece A, that's for the top and the bottom. And then for the sides B, the same blue checked. Very pretty. And this one is so easy. You're going to love this. We are going to look at our pattern here. Put that over there. This first we need to put a dark piece here, right here. So just pick a dark piece, whichever one you want to use. And we're going to go a 1/4 inch seam along the center, and come down here wherever my center is, and I want to cross over about like that, because that's about a 1/4 inch. And then here's my center line. Then I want to take a light piece right there. And I want to overlay a 1/4 inch. Just like that. Now if you want the dark on the top, right here you would change that. I kind of like the light on the top. Let me show you what I mean. Kind of like that. Or maybe we should switch that, because then the dark will show through the bottom. So let's lift that. Switch that out like that. And then I need to realign my pellon. There we go. That should be fine. Now here's what it looks like. I like that. Then we need a dark that'll go right here. And this one is the one we'll use for that. And we'll simply line that up, overlaying a 1/4 inch. And then a light fabric right here. And I want that light fabric to be first. So let's go ahead and put that light fabric down. Then we can come in with the dark. I think I'm liking that. And we'll move this up a little. And then we'll go ahead and lay down our light fabric over there so we don't have to switch it around, right? So then that one is going to go like that, I think. And then we'll come in with a dark. And I think I am going to tuck away that light and bring it down a little, like that. And then this one can go right there. And I think I'll bring this up like that. And we'll lay this light right here. And I will bring this one up. It's however you want to place it. And then this one, right here, I think. Now, if I look at my borders, these ones are pretty narrow, so I could bring everything in a little. And here I do want this light to go under this dark. And I'll just carefully switch things around again. So I am going to bring things in a little. This is your canvas and you can make it like you want it. And I do need to bring this over a little and then bring my light over a little. And I have a little more room because I cut my borders at 1 inch just to be sure, but I can always trim them, but I want to make sure that my points do not get covered by our connector. And I see over here it's pretty narrow, so I probably want to bring, how much room do I have there? I can actually bring this in a little. And then we'll turn this around. And bring this piece in. The tweezers do make it a lot easier. And then like that. And that is a little more room on the sides. And now I need to adjust top and bottom. So I'm going to grab, because it's pretty narrow at the bottom. So I'm just pulling up from the top. And this one. And we'll move this over a little. See, I have this much room at the top and this much at the bottom. So I need to move this up. And back over, and then I need to move this up. If we put that back down, there we go. Now I just have to adjust the other side. And I'm going to flip this up and then move this down a little. And then move this up. Doesn't have to be perfectly even on the sides, but you probably want it semi-even, right? Okay, and then we'll place that there. And this one has to come over to straighten that out a little. And underneath here, we'll straighten this out. And this one has to come up just a little. And I think I like that. I have a little more room down here. What do you think? I love this. All right, so next we have to put our borders on. So I did not pink the borders because they'll get hidden. And I guess I should have laid those down first, but this should be pretty easy. I'm just going to flip this up and flip this side up and make sure I'm pretty even. And then I'm just going to lay that down and then flip everything back down. There's that one. And then at the bottom, same thing, we'll just flip all those up and lay the bottom. This will be A at the bottom, and just lay that across. And we will be doing some trimming. I'd make everything a little bigger just so I'm covered. Same thing on the sides. Just gonna pick this up, flip it up so that we can get this border in there. And then grab this white one, lay that down, and this one the short one I'm going to tuck underneath the top one. And then I'll bring this one back out. And there will be some trimming. And then this one I will tuck underneath this, like that. And then I'll be picking up this to put this underneath. And I'm just lining up with the edge of the pellon. And then pick up this one. And again, the edge of the pellon, and let everything fall into place. Make sure nothing adjusted. And we lost our white one here. There we go. So cute, right? And now we're ready to transfer this to our batting. Very carefully. And again, if you need to, use your tweezers to readjust anything that moved. I really like that. That is so cute. And we are ready to press, I think. I see that this is not even. There we go. There is a lot of adjusting, but it's so worth it for the look. And I am using steam because I'm using the Pellon. And we'll just press that on there. And I will pin before I go to the sewing machine. I will be doing the hand look stitch today. And I would love to hear from you. Please comment below with your favorite traditional quilt blocks that you would like to see made quirky in future episodes. This is block 1 of row 3. So this will be block 11 of 30. So there's plenty of time to cast your vote. And if you have left a comment with your suggestions, I have added it to the list, and I thank you so much for that. I am going to pin. Before I go sew, I just don't want anything shifting on me. Once I have the stitching done, I will be right back. I just love how this turned out. And hopefully you can see that beautiful stitching. I put a beige thread in the bobbin. And then here's what the back looks like. It looks worn and tattered. That is your Pinwheel Quilt Block Quirky Style. And like I said, there's no joining today because this is block 1. Next video, we'll add block 2 and we'll be joining that to this one. When we're all done, we'll join all the rows in a video. But so adorable. And before we wrap up today, I want to leave you with a Bible verse and a final thought to encourage you. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God, and the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Philippians 4, verses 6 through 7. In moments of worry or doubt, remember to turn your concerns into prayers. Trust that God's peace will guide you through every stitch and every moment. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, commenting. It truly means the world to me. And until the next video, God bless you.